Hello students, welcome back to the new session of mathematics. So, according to you, what is maths? Is maths all about numbers? Yes, maths is about numbers, but it is also about shapes and patterns. So, in today's video, we are going to learn about chapter 12, that is symmetry, patterns and nets. So, this is the mind map for today's class. We will start by learning about the term symmetry and the types of symmetry. Then we will learn about tessellation and reflection. Further, we will learn about patterns and two types of patterns, that are patterns in nature and patterns in numbers. Lastly, we will learn about nets. So students, let's learn about symmetry. When do we say that an object is in symmetry? We say that an object is in symmetry when one part is identical to the other part. Now look, here we have a triangle. Now if I fold this triangle into two parts, so one part is exactly identical to the other part. So I can say that this triangle is in symmetry, and the line that divides the object into two parts is known as the line of symmetry or axis of symmetry. Now, there are two types of symmetries. First, horizontal symmetry, and second is the vertical symmetry. Now, what is horizontal symmetry? Under horizontal symmetry, the top view is exactly same to the bottom view. So, here I have alphabet E and B. So, if I divide the alphabet E and B and place the above part over the bottom part, it will exactly coincide. So, that is known as horizontal symmetry. Now, in vertical symmetry, the left part is exactly similar to the right part. So, here I have alphabet T and H. So, when I am placing the left part of T over the right part, it will exactly coincide. So, this is known as vertical symmetry. Now, there are few alphabets which have vertical and horizontal symmetry. For example, the alphabet X, right? Now, let us consider the horizontal symmetry. So, if I place the top part over the bottom part, it will exactly coincide. Now, the vertical symmetry. Now, if I place the left part over the right part, again it will coincide. So, there are few objects and alphabets which have both vertical symmetry as well as the horizontal symmetry. Now, let us learn about the term tessellation. What is tessellation? When shapes are repeated over and over again without a gap. Now notice the tiles on the floor. Did you notice? They are same shapes which are repeated over and over again, but there are no gaps between them. Yes, here also I have a hexagon, right? Now there are many hexagons which have been repeated again and again without any gap. So here a tessellation is formed. Now let us learn about reflection. So what do you mean by reflection? Reflection means creating the mirror image of the object, that is flipping the object without changing its shape or size. Now what is a pattern? A pattern is formed when numbers or shapes are repeated in certain order, right? So when a certain order is repeated, a sequence is formed. Now that sequence is known as patterns. Now you can notice patterns around yourself and in numbers. For example, when we talk about patterns in nature, just look around yourself. Look at the leaves. There is a pattern in the leaves. Now let's talk about patterns in numbers. So here, as you can see, I have written few numbers. Here first it is 1 into 9 plus 2 is equal to 11. Next, 12 into 9 plus 3 is equal to 111. Moving on to the next row, 123 into 9 plus 4 is equal to 1111. So as you can notice, there is a pattern formed, right? First we are writing 1, then 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we are writing 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can notice, the number of ones. Here it is 2, so here I have written 2 ones. Here it is 3, so I have written 1 3 times, like 1, 1 and 1. Similarly, for 4 it is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 times 1. Now from this pattern you can identify what will be the answer. So here I have written 1, 2, 3, 4 into 9 plus 5. So here it is 5, right? So I will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 I will write 5 times. Like you might be confused, right? How is this happening? You can go and check the answer by yourself. You will get the answer as 11,111. Now let's talk about nets. Now you know that there are few shapes which are known as two-dimensional shapes or 2D shapes, and there are few shapes which are known as three-dimensional shapes or 3D shapes. Now what is the difference between 2D shapes and 3D shapes? Now in a 2D shape there is only length and breadth, but in a three-dimensional shape you have length, breadth and height. Now what is the connection between 2D shape and 3D shape? Now a net is a 2D shape which when folded it forms a 3D shape. Now you can use any box in your house. You can cut open the box and then you can find a net type shape is being formed. So that net when put together forms a 3D shape. So students, in today's video we learned about symmetry and two types of symmetry, that are horizontal symmetry and vertical symmetry. Next we learned about tessellation, and for tessellation we use the example of tiles on the floor. We also learned about reflection. Last we learned about patterns, and under that we learned about patterns in nature and patterns in numbers. Yes. Last we learned about nets, and under nets we learned that when a 2D shape is folded it forms a 3D shape. Thank you students. Have a nice day.